Talking to people on the street? No? Talking to my mom? That would be a bad idea. No! Yeah, and that's the same about network marketing. You cannot talk to others when you decide you are going to be successful in this. So, in 2005, I just got into my car. It was a sunny day. I drove to the airport, and then, after some training, I got my first job. And then I got my second job and my third job. And that I would call a statistics. That's a statistics. It's how many times do you do whatever you want to be good at? And how often do you do that? So in network marketing, it's just the same. It's just the meetings. And in any area of your life, if you do it 0 times, you will get 0 result. The same in network marketing. 0 meetings, 0 result. Always remind yourself about that. So now, what's the professional result? It's 1 out of 3, 1 out of 5. What would that mean? That would mean that you will hear 4 no's before you hear 1 yes. Be prepared for that. It's nothing bad that somebody says no. It's not personal. It's never personal. Somebody has no money, and then they say no. Somebody has the money, and then they say no. Somebody doesn't need the product. Somebody just is in a bad mood today. So if you get to the statistics where it's 1 out of 3, 1 out of 5, you are in the best possible shape. Now, what if your statistics is 1 out of 20, 1 out of 30, or whatever number? It's still better than 0 out of 0. Is that right? Yes. So, but what do you do then? So you come to the second step in this section of the master plan. So the first section is statistics. You started, then you come to the events. And under this code of events, it's not only this event. It might be a small event in your car when you're listening to this audio. That's your event, mini event. Event is when you take experience for someone who is already successful, whose statistics is already 1 out of 3, 1 out of 5. Or who is successful in life, in whatever area you want to become successful. So, you come to the events, you read the books, that's also a mini event. But what I've learned in those 2.5 years, that in these events where we are now today, and by the way, this is a fantastic event. What a cozy room we have. Hey Peter, congratulations, and the team. Yeah. I learned that in those events, they make me so much more powerful after each event. I return back with a new power. You want to be in each one of those. So now, if your statistics is a bit low, like 1 out of 20, you come to the events and you return back to the statistics. You come to the events and you return back to the statistics. And that's how you circle round and round and round and round until you become a pro. You have 1 out of 3, 1 out of 5. And then we turn to the third step in this process. And that is called duplication. Duplication is when you take another person and you help them to come to start their own statistics and to come to those events and to read the books and to listen to the CDs. So that's duplication. And now, you're not doing this alone. First statistics you do with somebody who will help you. And you come to those events, somebody probably invites you here. So somebody helped you that. So afterwards, when you do duplication, you help others. All right, let's move to the second section in this master plan. And that's a section that we all gonna need in each and every step in our life. And that starts with, why did I want to go parachuting? Why would you want to go and do the meetings? And if you don't have this why, if you didn't figure it out yet, so there's something to work on. And you might find this why in the books, in the CDs, in the events, and you could also call your sponsor or a coach. And you could make it to be a game. I saw many people playing telephone games. Why wouldn't be playing this game? This is so much more interesting. Like asking yourself and everybody you meet, why do you go to work? Why do you earn that little and still go to work? Yes? Why am I doing this? And you can talk to the sponsor all day long about it, but when you have your why, when it's clear, then everything starts. Like when I wanted to parachute, when I wanted to learn that, nobody could stop me. Not even one obstacle could be in my way. I was jumping out of the bed. I was racing my car to the airport. So you want to feel that. You would like to feel that when you're going to the meetings. That's what I feel right now. I love meetings. This is so much fun. So, when you find your why, then everything becomes easier. No more struggles. Now you move to the second step of the second section. And that's going to be what? When I went for the first time to the airport, I didn't know what's first, what's second, what's third. What am I going to do? So I needed a training. And that we will call a plan. So if why we would call a motivation. So what we will call a plan. Do you think I could create a plan for myself? How am I going to do that? No, I needed a training. So we had this little event that was going on for hours and hours, and I learned that I'm going to do this first, and then second, then third. So I learned a plan. And now, when I learned the plan, could I already do that on my own? No, because I still did not have the skills. It's how. So the third step of this process is how, and that's the skills. So for the first time, when I jumped for the first time, I had 2 instructors jumping with me together. Why? Because they had to correct every single mistake that I made. And that's the lesson. You are going to make mistakes. A lot of mistakes. And you are not going to worry about that, because the instructors are going to correct that. After several jumps, I had only 1 instructor, and here is the second lesson. That, how long do you think I wanted to be jumping with the instructors? As short as possible. I wanted this freedom. I wanted to jump out however I want. I wanted to fall and do whatever I want. I wanted to come to the airport and jump whenever I want. So that's the freedom when you learn to do it on your own. So that's the lesson about this section. You want to learn to do it on your own. You want to learn to do statistics on your own. You want to come to the events on your own. You want to duplicate on your own. You want to find your why whenever you are in lack of it. You want to create a successful plan on your own. And you want to learn the skills on your own, doing the meetings. So let's move to the third section. And the third section is influence versus control. Who likes control? You like it? Nobody likes control. But everybody likes influence. Everybody likes pleasant, nice influence. So the third section is this, that you want to learn how to influence, and that's the only way is to copy somebody who is a good influencer. Be around those people who get results without being controlling. Get around those people. Copy everything, what they say, how they move, how they smile, how they influence others. So now, first, you want to learn to influence yourself. You can control yourself. And that's the first step in this section. You can control, but you don't want it. You want to influence yourself. You want to do it smoothly. So, but you could control yourself first. Now, the second step in this section is that you cannot control others, at least for a long period of time. And in this business, in network marketing, you cannot control others, can you? No. So, be aware of that. Never try to control others. And I will be returning to this in the next section. So, the third point in this section is you learn to influence yourself, and you can influence yourself, and you learn to influence others, and you can influence others. And you learn it from those who already can do that. So let's move to the fourth section, and that is how you control or how you plan your time. So now, first, you begin with yourself. So I get up in the morning and I check, what's my statistics? What's my statistics of the last week? Am I participating in all the events? And you are, obviously. So, am I duplicating myself? Or am I copying somebody else? Do I have my why in place? Do I have my plan? Do I have my skills? And if I don't, then can I do it on my own? Can I find it on my own? If I can't, I call my sponsor. Because I am responsible for this business. It's my business. I am responsible to call my sponsor. So first, I talk to myself and I clarify everything. Is everything okay with me? Now the second thing is I call my team, if there is a team. If I'm bronze, then I call myself. But if there is a team, so I call my team, and so now I don't want to be controlling, because you already tried that, probably, some of you. So I want to be influencing. So first what I say is, so let's imagine I call Peter. Say, hello Peter. And Peter says, hi Cash. What would that indicate? That Peter's why is in place. Because his motivation, his spirits are high. So I already diagnosed that he's okay with his why. Now I say, what's up? What's going on? And now I'm checking the plan. And Peter says, all right, that's great. Everything is fine. I'm doing meetings. I'm doing trainings. there is an event coming on 17th. So I know now that Peter has a plan. And I believe in this plan. I say, all right, that's a great plan. That's fantastic. Are you going to hold the whole event on your own? What I'm checking right now, I'm checking the skills. So I'm checking the whole tree. So he says, oh no, I have my team. They're amazing. They're going to hold the whole event. But you know, Cash, could you come over and share a few words? And I say, oh yeah, sure. Sure. Thank you, Peter, by the way, for inviting me. Thank you. So here's my calendar. So now I paint on my calendar, 17th. I'm busy. Now I call another one in my team. Let's imagine on silver. I'm calling somebody with the name Darius. And I say, hello Darius, how are you? Well, what did I just diagnose? His why is not in place. So I would say this, all right, what happened? Oh, nothing, just a lot of work and too little money and whatever. Oh, would you like to hang out today in the evening? Just, you know, cup of tea, maybe have some rest, talk a little bit. Oh yeah, I would love to. All right, today in the evening. Good. What did I just do? I diagnosed that his why is not in place. I didn't say, look, your why is not in place, blah, 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 blah. I said, come on, let's meet, if you want. If he says no, then I say, all right, call me back when you are in a better shape. Now let's imagine, yeah, and I don't try to control him. So now let's imagine there is somebody who has the why. So I call him and he says, all right, I'm fine. And I say, what's going on? So what are you doing this week? He says, well, I'm not quite, all right, now I know where's the problem. So now I say, all right, would you like me to help in that? If we meet and maybe we talk, maybe we find a way how to do it in a fun way. Oh yeah, I would love to. All right, so when do we meet? Certain day. So that's how I call all of my team, and that's how I find out who is in need. And I only offer my help. That's the only thing I do. If somebody doesn't want that, I leave him alone. Then I return to myself. If there are empty spots in my calendar, I do the meetings for myself. I take new customers, I take new partners. That's how I became the top producer in 2013. That's just that simple. So now, we came to the 5th section in this master plan, and the 5th section is the process and the progress. If you stop the process, then you stop everything. So be in the process all the time. And do at least a little bit of a progress. And that's what you want to see in your trip of this business. You want to see at least a little bit of a progress in any area. When you start, let's say even the numbers are not showing anything, but you feel yourself easier in the meetings. That's a progress already. You feel better, that's a progress. Your why is now stronger, that's a progress. So you learned something, that's a progress. Afterwards, you look at the numbers. You look that you are alone today, but the next week you have 1 customer. So now there's 2 of you. That's 100% increase. That's a huge progress, yes. So The next week, there is 3 of you. And that's fantastic. That's what you want to be looking at. You don't want to be looking at your check for the first year. For some, it might be half a year. For some, it might be a year. But that's the second step of this section is time. It's how much time do you spend with this. Because you've got to give it time. Sometimes it's going to cost you 1/2 a year. Sometimes it's going to cost you 2 years, 3 years. Even if it is 5 years, who cares if in 5 years you are on the motorcycle to success? It doesn't matter. And if you are having the progress all the time, you're feeling happy when you're having the progress. You've got to learn to see the progress. So you've got to control the numbers, and you've got to control your state. You've got to listen to it. So, the first step in this is 3 P's. It's process, progress, profit. It's 3 P's. Now the second is time, and the third one is reaping the harvest. It's reaping the results. It's when you get the checks, when you drive nice cars. I saw so many of them here. That is nice. When you travel the world. I heard somebody talking about ambassador trip. When you have this feeling inside you that you have made it, it is all worth it. So now let's review. The first section was statistics, events, and duplication. The second section was why, what, and how. The third was influence versus control. The fourth one is how you plan your time. You sit with yourself. Then, after you are all set, then you call your team. And then, if there is time left, you return to yourself. And the fifth one is the process, progress, profit. Giving time and then reaping the harvest. So now, let's close our eyes one more time. Relax. Take a deep breath. Imagine a river of people. You are in that river. You are on a motorcycle to success. You are going fast. You are jumping over every obstacle in your way without even slowing down. Your face has this huge beaming smile that enlightens everything around. Your pockets full of money. Your heart is filled with joy. You are helping others. You are in a team of winners. You are one of the best. You are on the highway to your wildest dreams. Open your eyes. Thank you so much.